Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Aiden Smith with the Paint Your Path podcast. And we got my man Humberto here with Fresh Start Paint Pros out of South Carolina with the fresh merch. How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother? How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's a good week, but it's even a better week for you.
Yeah, it's kicking off. Well, it's finishing off with a huge bang, and I'm excited for it.
Damn, man. I mean, you're putting up like unreal numbers, right? Like, 0.1% of the painting industry is going to be able to do the numbers that you're doing already. And you've only been in this space for like how long?
Uh, like from start to like complete start, about 2.5 years, but
Wow.
really like taking initiative with this, it's been more like 18, 19 months.
Damn.
I had a
Damn,
little
bro.
misconception when I started. When I started, I thought I would let the marketing start working with the SEO. So when I started the company, I just started working on branding and
Mm,
marketing, and I wasn't really looking for work until I started looking for work. I realized um, I was in the belly of the beast because now I
yeah.
have money invested, now I have time invested. We had this SEO going for quite a few months, so we had 10, 15 reviews, but it was very little jobs here and there, and then it kicked off from there, to say the least. Once I realized, like I said, I was in the belly of the beast.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when we first like hopped on our first ever call, like you booked and you were the easiest sale I ever had. Like you just I just felt like you had such purpose and intention and you were kind of like, "Look, bro, I already kind of know about a little bit what you do and I have a pain point that I'm trying to address and I need to get through this bottleneck and I think you're the guy and you don't even got to sell me. Like we're going to do this." And I was like,
Right.
"This guy's on a mission." Like I
Yeah.
don't get that a lot. Most guys are like, "Well, tell me what you do. Okay, how's it going to help me? Okay, what's the results going to be?" You were like, "Look, we're going to do this and it's gonna help me out a lot." But I just think that speaks to you, you know?
Right. Well, sometimes people think they can do things on their own. I find value in finding someone that's done it already and just teaching you how to do it. I think I could save myself a lot of time, heartache with finding someone. You came across like super professional. A couple of guys in the industry mentioned, that you were really good. So, I felt really comfortable already on the call with you,
Yeah.
and it was great. I got more than what I expected, which was a nice surprise. A lot more than what I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to say that when people kind of hesitate, because I see it all the time, painting contractors, they resist a marketing company or they resist a coach or they resist certain things. Like, you got to do this from the ground up. You got to do it
Yeah.
the hard way. There's no shortcuts, yada, yada. Not knocking what they're saying,
Mhm.
but to me, um, the mind is a very powerful thing. And if your mind allows you to believe and see it, then I think you're destined to do things pretty quickly because your
Yeah.
mind can work with you or against you. In this case, it worked with me.
Yeah. And just to kind of like paint the picture, right? So when you first started in the painting industry, kind of what was your like? Why did you get into this? Was
Uh,
it your background? Was it something you came from?
no, it was actually like a little vendetta, to be honest.
Mm.
I had a I had another very successful business. It was very competitive. It was a construction cleaning and pressure washing, where it was really about price. You're dealing with track homes, and you're dealing with a lot of different issues. And actually, the painting company that did all the track homes started getting into my pressure washing and cleaning. So,
Mm. Okay.
so it's like, I'm gonna start a painting company. Like, it really, I don't know. It was just, I was
Damn.
furious. I was furious.
Dude, I hear that a good amount of times. Like guys that really do like good numbers, right? Like you're gonna. What's your goal for this year, or what do you anticipate to do?
2 million, 2 million.
2 million. Okay, so 2 million in the first 2.5 years or so, 18 months, and you did that so quick because, like I said, you had that mission, you had the purpose, and now you're telling me you had the vendetta.
Oh yeah,
Like, and I hear that before from a couple guys, and it kind of like lights the fire, right? It gets things going, and you just want to dominate. Like, is that just the personality you have? Is
I absolutely carry a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I definitely wasn't. And no one really, besides myself, believed in me, and that's all that really matters. Like one or two people did, I can say.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, I want to win and I want to do things. When I do things, I want to do it right. I want to be the best. I'm highly ambitious. I found out that I really liked the painting industry as a whole, what it is. I had no idea that when I started this company out of a vendetta that I'd be coaching 18, 19, 21 year olds. I'd be teaching them a lot
yeah.
of things that I'm learning at 30. These guys are getting to learn at 18, 19. So like the impact that you're making is pretty awesome on top of, service and just the freedom of being able to take matters into your own hands.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a huge blessing.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, you're able to create opportunities for people, right? And because you put in a lot of that front end effort, like from the beginning, you were taking on big houses. Like you had a big crew that you had to feed. Like I remember the types
Yeah.
of jobs you were doing.
Yeah. So I started knocking on doors and I went to the biggest houses and I was like, hey, I have a painting company. I have 15 reviews and like, we like you. And then we got to work and then we
Damn.
quickly found out, how hard it really was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that's kind of like, I mean, across your journey, obviously, like you said, right, you had a mission. And for you, it was easy to just say, hey, what are the other people in the industry that I can kind of get a shortcut to? Right. So you had other coaches and people that have implemented systems into your business that have gotten you amazing results. And it was because you just put that up front cost up, right? You looked at it as I can compress time in order to get the result that I want.
yeah, it was up 2 a.m. on TikTok one night and I was searching for coaches and I found a coach and
Yeah.
that really helped me. And then it made me obsessed with coaching. And I mean, I think it's one of the best investments you can make. If someone's willing to pay $40,000 for college and learn something that they don't need, why would you not, in your business field, pay for a professional to come in and teach you? Is it an ego thing? Maybe. Is it a non-belief thing? Maybe.
Yeah.
But if you can believe in your absence of ego, I think your mind will take you very, very far.
Yeah. And like that's been a common theme I've heard lately. Like Brandon from the Elliott Group, he always says like remove all the leashes. Don't be too stubborn to where you can't get something to have somebody help you, right, in order to achieve your goals. Because at the end, you'll be laughing at yourself if you didn't make that move, or when you do achieve it, you're like, thank God I did that.
Right.
So no, it's just crazy. And talk about kind of like why you decided to make like decisions like for your marketers, right? Like you decided to go with like some of the best marketers in the industry. What was that decision like and why did you come to that decision?
Well, that one was definitely trial by fire
Mm,
because since I knew nothing and I was getting into this and I had a successful company, I was able to put money into marketing and kind of just I can understand the pain of some of these guys that are hesitant with marketers because I got jostled around to say the least by the
yeah.
marketer. They started doing the SEO, then they were doing Facebook and then Google ads. And that was a huge stink. I found a coach and that coach led me to Tritus. Tritus has been, nothing but amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can with Tritus and a good sales system, you could make like 60K a month, like easy, like not even trying, like sitting on your couch and just going to.
Right.
You really could. I literally did that last summer. I was like doing 80K. I do like 10 estimates a week, schedule my teams, and
Right.
from like June to September, all I did was ride my jet ski. Like I enjoyed like I didn't like because it took me a lot of time with the other business and then
Yeah.
paint pros. I was really I was worn out and I was just kind of riding that high of like, hey, I feel like prosperity is not leaving anymore,
Yeah.
at least for the time being. Who knows? A lot of things change, but you can't think that way.
Yeah, we actually just did another pod with somebody that had tried this as well, and he's trying to do like 5 million in his like third year. So I mean,
That's insane.
that's amazing.
That's
Um,
that's awesome.
and you just, I mean, I've seen on your social you just bought your dream car. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the car I've wanted for a very long time. It
Wow,
was
congrats.
yeah, it was sick, because at the end of the day, kind of like everything I do, I like to have like, I don't know, this phrase. It's just a dog. If you back a dog against the corner, is he gonna cower or is he gonna bite? And when you back me against the corner, I bite. So I've
Mm,
never been afraid to take that leap on something that I wanted to enjoy or some training or something, because at the end of the day, I have the tools in
yeah.
my hands, in my mind, to be able to go out there and make the money that I need to succeed.
Yeah. And I think a big push for you, especially like me kind of working with you, is you've always been somebody that wanted to get his time back, right? Like right away you said, "Hey, I need the sales rep, right? I'm going to ground up these door-to-door guys in order for them to sell for me. I'm going to get the PM early on, train him up in order to manage my projects." Like why is that so important for you to make that happen?
Because I have a lot of goals.
Mhm.
I have a lot of goals, and if I can accelerate and take action, I can move on to the next merits of my life. I don't want Fresh Start Paint Pros to define me. I want it to be a stepping stone to where I really want to go in life,
Yeah.
not monetarily, but just overall. And it's absolutely helping me. It's huge. I don't. It wouldn't be possible without it, to be honest. But delegating to expand, to grow, to eventually continue business ventures. I really like business. I like learning. I like the struggles. I like the fight. I like it all. I love it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, man. You're like a vendor's dream client, right? Whether it's marketer, coach, right? Whatever it is, because you're such a doer, right? You're so results driven, you're so goal oriented. And now you get to have people that come into your system and learn from you and get that kind of insight. Cause I remember when I worked with like CertaPro, I had a owner that this guy was like an analytic beast. And I took a lot of like what I know from him as far as the logical side of things and the number side of things. And that helped me long term, right, in my journey. Whereas the guys that are coming into your organization now are getting to learn from a beast, like somebody that's going to go after it. And there's no excuses, you know? So, what has that been like, kind of like leading these guys and growing guys from the ground up?
It's the fun part actually. Like it's hilarious because when I tried doing it last year and I failed. I failed. Like when I started, I tried to do it and I failed miserably. It wasn't easy. I think I hired like 15 guys on door to door, and I ran through them. Like I ran through all of them. Some would stay, some wouldn't. They wouldn't. I wouldn't have results with them. This and that. And ultimately, I knew that everything. Since I was in the military, since I was a young kid, I knew everything rises and falls on leadership, and extreme accountability should be number one in
Mm,
any great man's life. Is what I think they should be extremely accountable. So I took that accountability and I started reading leadership books and I started seeing all the flaws that I was making, the things that I was transmitting, all the things that I was doing.
mm,
And then I got really lucky because, when luck meets opportunity, I kept looking and looking, and I found my now estimator, Will, after I'd found David from door to door. So we found David, who was a family friend, and he's graduating high school on Saturday. He's doing
nice.
door to door for us. He's awesome. He's super bought in. He loves it. And I found Will, and when I was on the Indeed call, the Zoom call from Indeed, and he was like, honestly, bro, like forget about the door to door. I simply just want to learn from you. Like
Mm,
I can tell that you have something that I need to learn. I was like, great. I was like, we'll see
damn.
if I hire you. Called him back 3 days later. I was like, how do you think you did? I could have done this. Well, I'd like to say it was a tough decision, but I think unfortunately, hold on. Actually, what's your shirt size? And he's like, oh, he's
That's
like,
funny.
he's like, oh. So
Just graduated high school.
yeah.
Is he going to college?
So no, he's not. He's not. He's
Yeah.
this. So David, he's the youngest team member. He's 18. He just graduated high school. His graduation is on Saturday. I'll be there.
Yeah.
My estimator, he's 19. He's a dog. He's really disciplined. He's not polished in professionalism, but that's where coaching comes in and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But he's getting there and he's closing jobs. I mean, he closed a job $1,000 over the competitor about
Wow.
3 weeks ago. So that's impressive. When I started, I put out like 100K in estimates, and I didn't close a single one. I was about to jump off a bridge. I was like,
Damn.
yo,
Yeah. That's the
it's
process
crazy.
though, bro. And I love that you said that you were like he's graduating on, Saturday or whatever it is, I'm gonna be there. Like that's support. That's what you want. That's what every employer or employee wants in their boss, for them to support them, especially somebody that's gonna potentially bypass college for an opportunity to learn under you and do their own thing in the entrepreneurial world, if not build with you. Like that's some big weight on your shoulders, bro.
Yeah, it is. They're calling me at 10:30 at night for advice. It's actually kind of it's kind of crazy with that. And when I started last year hiring, I was kind of hiring anyone that
Mm,
had the tools. But when I approached it to like hiring people I specifically wanted, like people that like were just on my wavelength, that's as a small business that it really started to transcend.
mm,
Because if I know it's a little, I guess, superficial, whatever, but if you like someone, they're probably going to like you. Now there's camaraderie, there's
yeah.
culture, there's bond. So I dedicated the business to finding like minded people that I know, like David's going to love Will, Will's going to love Brady. And they all love each other and they're all
Mm,
buddies now. And it's almost like a family to them. So that creates a lot of stability as well.
yeah.
But I like them. Like these are my like I don't know. They're like my kids almost. It's crazy because I'm helping them with a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's cool. It feels good because you kind of following God's path.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of God, how's that been for you, bro? I know you're a spiritual guy, and I think that when you have some kind of like thought process aside from just kind of like the front layer or natural, it tends to kind of help you out think a little differently, different perspectives, and have like a little bit more of a
Yes.
moral compass. How's that been for you?
Well, every decision I make is based off of morality. A lot of times in Western society, there's some principles that I don't necessarily agree with. I think they're curated to like separate people a lot. Like for example, if you bring a family member, the common sayings, "This isn't family, this is business."
Mm,
It's like, what do you mean? Like that's your family member. No matter what, you can't treat them like an employee because if not, you're wondering why they hate you or they're not
mm,
talking to you.
right.
Like treat them like family and they'll receive you like family. You treat someone in a high position in your life like an employee, you're going to lose that person.
Yeah.
So I've always held my moral morality first. I think if people knew how good for business is to be good, the world would be a 10,000% better place.
Morally good, you're saying.
Yeah, if, in all aspects, like if
Mm,
people knew how good was for business to be good, it just everything would flourish even more.
yeah.
Well, so with my faith, it's guided me because like last week, for example, real transparent moment. 19 years old, estimating, a lot of pros, definitely a lot of cons.
Mm-hmm.
For the ambitious person, someone that's not quite there yet, and we just spoke about my goals and stuff. It felt like a bottleneck,
Mm,
It
yeah.
feels like, dang, he's not ready, and it's going to take him a lot of time to be ready. But then I have the door to door team. And like I said, they're like a family. So it's like I can't move him from this position. And I'm not sure how I can go about hiring another person and just like expert killer, 25 years old, 26 years old. He has
Right.
some sales, quick, ready to go. So I was wrestling with that. And although you mentioned that, I'm doing very, very well, it still feels like I'm doing nothing.
Mm,
So I just had to look back and sit down and I realized that like I'm mentoring these kids in such a positive way. My bank account isn't suffering one bit at all.
mm.
You're being a little ungrateful. Like receive your blessings the way they come, and thank these kids for helping you become a better leader.
Look at that.
So huge mindset shift. Uh, a lot more uh, content. I'm like pat on the back,
Yeah.
for that realization because not everyone gets the opportunity to lead young men. You know,
Yeah, man. I mean,
the
one of
world
the
needs more of that.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I got from the event I went to like a couple months ago was God needs leaders. You know, there's not enough right now in the world. That stuck with me, bro. That's like one of my main kind of thought processes when I go and kind of just look at the lay of the land and what's going on. And I hope that people see me as one as much as, you know, I see you as one, because that's huge. And it also, like, you know, that not everybody is for your organization, even if they do have all the intangibles. They might not be the best fit, right? Like you just said, you went through 15 guys to find the right couple guys. Most people aren't even willing to go through 3 guys, right? They'll just stick
Yeah.
with whoever they got, or they just don't want to put in the effort to try and grow a team. Oh, I'll do it myself. But it's like, no, when you have the goal and you have to execute and you have to get to this point, you have to keep trying no matter what. Your
Oh
first
yeah.
hire is not going to be great,
Oh
right?
yeah. Hiring and firing is like, I feel like people just want to find the perfect person that's going to be with them for 40 years, like myself included.
Right.
And it's just not going to happen. Like you could, like it maybe, but very, very slim chance that happens.
Yeah.
And you just got to have that mentality that, you know, things are changing constantly. And these guys will eventually go on to own their own businesses, and we'll have a new crew, a new team,
Yeah.
new staff. Maybe one of them sticks or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be evolving and changing. And that part is definitely one of the tougher parts, because you know I did get myself caught up with the project manager. He was doing just enough,
Mm-hmm.
but there could have been improvements. So if you're
Yeah.
quick to hire, you know, if you're quick to hire, you better be quicker to fire.
Yeah.
So,
And how important, you know, because you said, you know, there's times where, hey, maybe they go and do their own thing, right? And you kind of raise that from the ground up, so you can't even be mad at it. But it's like, how important is it for you to have like processes in your business, especially as you grow? How important is that?
with the growth, it was essential.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's one of the most important aspects of it. Even in the beginning, small processes are huge. A sales process, without a sales process, you're not closing. Everyone talks about marketing, but if you can't close a sale,
Yeah.
forget about it. You close a sale, you do a job, then people are marketing for you. So there's guys that post on Facebook that are doing a million just simply posting on Facebook because their reputation follows them. So having a good sales process has been essential.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, being able to take it. I mean, it's funny because this kid is he's really like he's really personable and he's
Mm-hmm.
socially like smart. He's creative, funny, da da da. But I mean, I joke with him all the time. I'm like, Will, you have a pretty good destiny. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, bro, you can't even do math and spell, and you're gonna be a millionaire. I was
Yeah.
like, you can't even spell Bumblebee, bro. But you're out here, and it's the production rates. The production rates, doom, doom, plug it in, done.
Yeah.
So I call him Bumblebee now.
Oh my goodness. Do you feel like there's like a skill that comes with, not a skill, but isn't it cool how, like, you know, once you get a little older and you kind of see how things like pan out, you can see potential in kids and guys? You ever notice that?
Yeah, I see it immediately
Hmm.
with the wine. Well, some now I don't see it immediately. Some of these guys show it immediately.
Yeah.
Like Will, during the interview, I found out he was a state champion wrestler. I was a
Hmm.
wrestler. I know what it takes to be a wrestler, yet alone a state champion wrestler. There's
Yeah.
a lot of traits of someone that's going to be too stubborn to lose. And
Hmm.
in this game, you better be stubborn to lose because if not, you will lose.
Yeah.
And then David, who's just, I mean, he gets like 40 things coming into his mind at once. I'm like, go journal, go do
Hmm.
something, go make your bed, clean your room. Like you need to start clearing that mind space because you're so intelligent that you get overwhelmed with thoughts coming through.
Yeah.
Some of these guys are more disciplined than me, and I mean, like the moment you tell them to make your bed and wake up at 4 a.m., it's done. You don't have to say it again. It's like,
Yeah.
huh, I had to get beat with a bat, you know? So it's like,
Hmm.
it's really awesome to see that in these young men. You know, a lot of times people in this generation are losing sight,
Hmm.
and these kids aren't. These kids are leaders. That storm
Was
is
that
kicking.
thunder?
That storm is kicking right now.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say the biggest? Because a lot of people are like, "Hey, I don't want to do sales forever. Like my business is overwhelming. I need to get other people in here. What is that? What advice would you give somebody that's looking to make that transition, and what should they look for as far as the up and coming sales rep they want to hire?
Man, that question has so many answers, bro. And there's so many ways to do it. If you want to get out of it quick, right? Do what I did, hire a coach to teach and like focus every amount of time that you can on teaching and coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and then find somebody that's really coachable, really ambitious, really personable, and has some experience and is around 25, 26.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best odds of getting what you want.
Do they need to know paint?
Absolutely not. I didn't
Would
know
your
paint. I
would
didn't know
your
paint at all. I didn't know paint. I knew Sherwin-Williams existed. That's about it.
Yeah. Where would it be like more of an advantage if they knew painting or disadvantage?
No, I don't think I think it depends on the person. It can be an advantage, disadvantage.
Hmm.
I think my blind ignorance helped me, right? Oh,
Yeah.
that's paint. Just visible.
But with
Find
that, you
out
run into some issues, right? I mean,
a
as
little
far
bit.
as like production more and estimating.
I knew that I was gonna have to. So I knew I was gonna have to find and create an amazing relationship with a sub or a painter.
Exactly.
So I created
Exactly.
that amazing relationship with the sub, and that sub was good. He panned out being really good. He's still with me since the beginning.
Mm.
But ever since the beginning, I said, dude, my gratitude with him has been there. So he gets the best jobs. He gets paid at a different rate. I mean that goes a long way. So he would
Mm.
guide me a lot on certain things, and I'd learn, and I come, and when they do jobs, I'm there. I'm learning as I'm going.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I on the first few jobs, I was there 24/7,
Mm.
just seeing. I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, I'm here. What do you do here? What do you do there? Oh, okay, cool. You scrape that. I didn't know that. This primer goes here.
Yeah.
And I started learning. Then I started doing research, and then obviously, I mean, it never ends.
When you first started, were you bringing him to the estimates and saying, "Hey, give me a price, marking it up"?
A couple of them I did. A
Mm.
couple of them I did. He was there with me for some of the bigger ones, and then I would do videos, and then I'd send it to him, and then he'd be like, this needs to be done, da da da, and we got it done that way as well.
Yeah.
So we were a team, and we're still a team.
Yeah, I highly recommend that in the beginning, especially for guys that like have just no idea about like painting in general. Like you can't be too stubborn to where you want to have it all in your own brain and figure it out yourself. Like rely on these guys, you know. I have guys that use it was even me in Florida because I had moved to Florida, started the business, and it was like I didn't have any photos or videos, right, that I could use and market because all my houses look like Philly. They look like
Yeah,
Philadelphia. So I'm like, how can I market these? Nobody's gonna even. They're gonna be like, this isn't even Florida. So I asked my first sub, and I said, hey, bro, I'll give you $100. Send me like 10, 20 photos or videos of your work, and dude, I'll start keeping us busy. And that's exactly what I did, and that's what I recommend to a lot of people if they don't have any, experience or just starting ground up, because you don't want stock photos either.
right.
Luckily I had the estimating side already down pat, but if you're not sure, yeah, bring them on, give them a price, and just be realistic. Like, hey, if we want to win this job, you have to make it tight. Like, don't kill me.
Right. No, I absolutely I love that because I did the same thing, especially with starting from scratch, not having anything. I had him send photos that were old and dated that he had done, and new ones and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
from there, like, man, when I started, like I said, I was in the belly of the beast. I had no idea. I had no
Yeah.
clue. It was extremely competitive. I mean, I'd go to jobs, I'd give a price, never hear back. Give a price, never hear back. Give a price, never hear back. Then I started following up. Then I'd hear back a little bit, and it was gruesome. It was really really gruesome to have that like rude awakening.
Dude, talk to me about kind of like some of your numbers as far as I know you're closing at a super high percentage, right? You yourself are like just 60 kind of baseline, right?
Yeah, 60s
And
in the
then
60s.
yeah, your
It's kind of
sales
gone
rep.
down now because my
Mm,
estimator. So now
that's what I'm saying. But for
I'm at the
you,
more difficult ones now. So it's
yeah,
like in the 50s. But overall, last year I was at like 61 for the year.
yeah.
Some months 65, some months 55. You
And
know,
and I know your pricing, right? So it's like you're not the cheapest by any means. So talk to me about like how price sits with you in your mind, right? Because a lot of guys are like, dude, I can't close, right? It's always just everybody's so competitive. They're looking for the cheapest guy. What do you have to say to that? The people that think that price is the biggest issue.
I think that it can't be black and white when it comes to pricing. I think that it always has to be flexible. Okay. What I mean by is just understanding the market completely, your areas. For example, full exteriors, right? Last month I was quoting things at 28. There's people getting quotes for 16. So that,
Yeah, I know they can hear this if people listening.
yeah, I could pause and
Incredible.
go
Nah, you're
inside.
good. It's only once in a while. It's pretty cool too.
Sure, I have a better spot inside.
Nah, you're good.
All right, cool. It's kind of cool actually, but yeah. So like we're coming in at 28. Some people are at 16. Obviously, that's a big gap,
Yeah.
especially if the person has a neighbor that they did their house. That's a big gap. So I think you got to understand the market really, really well and try to be fair. You don't have to be the most expensive. Obviously, it has to make sense for you to make money. But now, when you get into the nitty gritty and you're not completely, I mean, over the top, then it's free game. I mean, I've won jobs that are I came in double on the lower end, $2,500 more,
Yeah.
but we're doing the right things because of the system. So we identified that we had better paint, we had three coats. It's actually distracting me. I'm gonna go inside. Let's go
Fine.
inside.
That's fine.
Let's go inside.
That's
So
hilarious.
so that part was really important, bro.
Yeah.
Understanding. That's crazy. That's my workplace. So, but that's really important. Is like being flexible because in the beginning, it's difficult to gauge the area on price, right? But once you have a good pricing and it's fair, to be completely honest, it's still a work in progress for me, right?
Yeah.
Because there is the price motivated buyer, and
Mm-hmm.
everything you want to do, and it's still going to ultimately be on price, and they're going to, that's not necessarily the client you want either.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in a market where trust, value, quality, all those things matter, then you got to do what you have to do to make the potential client understand that your company is that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, "Oh, we do good work." It's like, okay, prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to take you based off of your word?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to take you based off of your word. I don't believe my 15-year-old kid. How am I going to believe you?
Yeah.
So you got to create so much trust with that person,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to do a lot of things to create that trust, right?
Yeah. Like we
Building
had a
a
conversation before, and I think one of the things that I picked up that you said was you have to be genuine enough, right? Like the customer has to feel that well, not only feel, but I mean, it has to be true, right? You have their best interest in mind. You're really listening to their pain points. You're really kind of tweaking things to make it the best deal for them, right? It's kind of like going to, like, I literally did this last night. I went to Taco Bell, and I know if I just rattled off a bunch of different items, my price would have been, you know, $50, whatever it is. But if I said, hey, give me the best deal based on what I'm ordering and make it meals, it's going to come out to like $28. So
Yeah.
if you can give the best value and it still makes sense for your company and the customer and it's curated to exactly what they want, now it's a better deal. They feel like they're getting good value. They feel like you're listening to them and it makes sense.
Yes. And it really matters where you're at in your business too. For the
Mm-hmm.
newer guys that are starting, yeah, less expensive pricing, I recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you create a name, your brand's notable, everyone knows who you are. Oh, it's Fresh Start Paint Bros. We know they're one of the best painters in Charleston. You have a really, really strong reputation in that area for quality. Now you can afford to have the prices that meet everything that you've done to do that, because it takes a lot of work to get there. The
Yeah.
process in the beginning, my paint quality was good, but my service wasn't as good. The ease of it was. Now, when I'm going to an estimate, I already know where their pets stay.
Mm-hmm.
The washout area. Those things took me time, a lot of coaching, a lot of learning, because
Yeah.
there's so many moving pieces. So It also depends where you're at in your business. For someone starting out, I would not recommend trying to say, "Hey, we're all about quality and price and this and
Right.
that." Like, there's a lot of quality painters out there. It's a competitive market, but at the same time, when you do start getting that brand recognition, you start having the process implemented. Do not be afraid of pricing,
Yeah.
because that is a mindset thing. I walked into a house today, a full exterior. They had three other quotes. She didn't even see my price, and she said, "You don't even have to go through this whole spiel. I'm going with you."
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, there is a grind phase. You can't just come out thinking you're going to get grand slams, you
Yep.
know? I mean, walking into a house with 4 reviews and like barely any real logos, because in the beginning, you probably just threw together some type of like, you don't have a real brand, right? You don't have the Micah website.
Nope.
So you got to kind of go into it thinking, okay, we're going to do all this front end work, even give better deals just to get people on the schedule, get things in the door and moving. And then on the back end, that return will be so much more. Like I went so heavy early on the best vendors to look the best, to the most reviews, the best content possible. Like I was recording every single job, photos, every single job, whatever I could do, because I knew that if I kept putting myself out there and looking as the best company possible, people will then, in a matter of months, not even months, were saying, yeah, we really want to go to a reputable company. We're going to go with you guys.
Right.
I'm like, I just got here.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
the
awesome that you did
perception.
that.
Yeah.
That's
It's the,
insane that you did that. And when I started, I did the opposite. I did exactly what you mentioned. I had barely the logos, this and that. And I'm coming in. I'm like, "Yeah, we're premium." Like, because I was sold on the mindset as like price is just, it's not a thing. But price, it's not black and white.
yeah.
It isn't. It isn't. You can be the best salesman, and you got to understand and have instinct on certain people, who you're buying from, the people, the trust, the situations. If the neighbor down the street just got their house painted by a painter, and they see that it looks good and they had a good compliment, I mean, if you don't come in close, if you're not around that price, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't just bull right through price, you know?
Because Americans aren't, we've been taught to save and conserve money our entire lives.
Mm,
We're not going to just throw it away,
yeah.
especially if there's like something that they saw was really, really nice. Would you buy a BMW that has the same exact thing for more expensive? You're going to obviously take the cheaper one.
Yeah.
One's 107, one's 103. Which one do you want? I think I want the $103,000 one. That's $4,000. It's the same
Yeah.
exact thing. So it's like, what is going to convince them to go with you? Well,
Yeah.
they trust you. You can get that. You can get a lot of trust. They trust you. They like you. They want to support you. You created a relationship with them.
Mm,
That's great. And like you said, the genuine part. If you're genuine about it, if you really care about your clients, you really care about your team, if you really care about what you're doing, people could. She even said, "I feel it in my gut." You're the one. It's in my
mm-hmm.
gut. They can sense it. People can sense out when someone's lying or trying to trick them or fool them or not telling the truth. We've gotten smart. We've paid attention.
Yeah. I love that. That's so good. Dude, talk to me about your lead sources. What has been like a game changer for you? What has worked? What's not worked? What's been great?
Meta, meta, meta's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Meta is too good. Not only is it amazing for lead sources, it's so great for like brand recognition, especially if you have a company like Tritus, where they really put out a lot of good content. I get people all the time saying, "Dude, your marketing is the best. It's insane. It's great." I've landed contractor gigs where I do like side hustles because of the marketing. Because just because he saw my marketing was like, "Yo, I want to work with this guy."
Yeah.
We do like I do side contracting where we probably do like 200K with just this one guy.
Wow.
It's pretty sick off of Meta, and that was when I was spending $50 a day on
Mm-hmm.
Meta. So Meta is insane. Obviously, Google SEO is really really awesome as well.
Yeah.
It's not for the impatient. For the patient man, though, Google is amazing
Yeah.
because those clients seem to really just want to work with you. Um,
Yeah.
Door to door has been awesome. Door to door. I mean, the one we just got today was from door to door. It
Mm.
was 16.5
Wow.
closed from a door hanger from a door to door guy. He didn't even talk to them or get the lead. It was a door hanger.
Mm-hmm.
So we came in, we have our process, sat down with the husband and wife. The wife was sold. The husband was there with her. Done. Done deal.
Damn, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
And what are you doing? Like, you're aren't you like shooting for 300K months?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
300K is, I think we'll do, I think we'll do 220 this month. Could be 180 to 220.
Wow.
Uh, my highest month thus far is like 196. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't hit the 200K, but the way everything is like, it's just all condensing right now because the door to door team is really starting to kick it,
Yeah.
and we have the right people in place to make it happen.
Good.
So with the guys that we have, a little increase in meta spending, we should be able to knock 300K at least a couple times this year.
Yeah. What's your process on managing all the leads that are coming in?
So we sheets and then a designated person for appointment setting,
Mm,
and they have their calculations, and they basically put everything in DripJobs. I want to keep it as simple as possible.
yeah.
I don't want things getting all confusing and stuff. I want to be able to plug and drop wherever I want.
Simple scales.
Simple scales. I've been a proponent of that forever. And when I start seeing complex things, I really resist it. I really resist it. And I know it's necessary, but you've done a good job on keeping it simple. For
That's so
real.
funny. And what was kind of like the journey with me? Like, how did you feel like when you first started with me? What were your expectations? I know you said kind of blew them away, but like, how has that helped you in kind of working with us?
Well, so my main thing was like I understood that you would be really good for helping me train
Mm,
estimators and stuff. What I didn't expect is how much you helped me elevate my brand
mm,
and the key little things that have just overall made things so much smoother. When I first, before you, I was pacing houses. Literally, I was pacing houses, and I was
yeah,
accurate with it. Like I'd get the square footage to the T, but how much longer is that going to take you?
yeah.
And I was using pen and paper to use all the formulas, 100 square feet. I mean, we've all done it.
Mm-hmm.
So you implemented DripJobs with the production rates, started measuring houses. I can measure a house in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Done. Quote written, closed on the spot. It was amazing. And then, like I said, I got Bumblebee over here doing it in Will. I have him doing it in the same amount of time, and something that would have made him struggle a lot,
Yeah.
especially because he wasn't a math guy whatsoever.
Yeah. Just pump the numbers in, spit out the numbers based on the company, what you guys have set up, and you roll with it.
That was huge. I
Yeah.
mean, it's already added a team, and it's taken so much time off my hands on teaching.
Yeah.
So ready earned my time alone with that, on top of the fact that the branding of everything is just been like next level. I mean,
Yeah.
my Facebook page looks way better. My proposals look 10 times better. My understanding of certain things. I mean, we're working on, the little the little mascot, which is cool. I
Yeah.
haven't pulled the trigger on it, but I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just been great as far as elevating my brand,
Yeah.
especially for an established business. A starting business is good. It's great for a starting business, but an established business that is really struggling to train and coach people, it's been insane. Or
Yeah.
a business that is now in that upper echelon but wants to differentiate themselves from the others. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you first started and people already trusted you and looked at you as a really, really trustable company, a reputable company. So that was essentially what you did for me as well. So
It's a game changer, man. It's huge.
props.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. What's next for Fresh Start? What's next for Humberto? What does that look like?
Well, my friend, I can't tell you all my secrets, right? But I could definitely tell you some. And the next thing is just continue with these guys, grow the door to door team.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a huge step in being able to scale massively. And I think I might actually hire someone ready to be a manager.
Mm,
Keep the faith in the other guys and let them know their position. But this new guy can be someone to help me get off completely from sales,
mm-hmm.
and be a coach, a leader, mentor my other guys, learn door to door. So we have someone that can source their own leads. And then I can really focus on my secrets, I guess.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do in life. I mean, now
Yeah.
you get to have a business that's an asset that you can sell, because it's fully functional without you. You're doing revenue, you've proven it. Now you have a valuation that you're able to put to it, and now you could potentially exit in the next few years, if not
I
sooner.
mean, bro, when I started with you, I was making every single move.
Yeah.
Now I have a VA calling for me for $7 an hour. Now, which is insane. And she's awesome. She loves her job, and
Yeah.
we have a great relationship, so that's cool. I have a 19-year-old being able to close $7,000 deals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at hiring more people. Everyone's bought in. We understand the company looks better than ever. I mean, it's been a game changer, an absolute game changer.
Dude, you're the man, bro. All right, man. Do you have anything else to say, or any comments, any advice for anybody?
Well, if you're starting out and you're looking to scale, I highly recommend the coaches in the space. Aiden being one of the main ones to work with for sure. Learn everything you can about sales. Learn everything you can about leadership. Learn everything you can about marketing. Organize your systems and get after it. Stay positive because this game is not easy. Some days you're on cloud nine. The next day you want to jump off a bridge.
Facts.
You're not alone. We're all with you. Um, Good luck with all of that, but with a coach, you don't need luck. So
Cool,
yeah,
bro.
get a coach, bro. Get a coach. I can't reiterate that enough. I mean, I've saved 10, 15 years of my life with coaching, like
Yeah.
straight up. And like you said, now we're doing 200,000. We're really on the verge of doing 200K in 18 months in, like legitimately.
Yeah. Dude, huge fan of you in general. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I know we're still working together in some capacity. But man, I've just been a huge fan from the beginning. Love everything you're doing. Always gonna support you, bro. And yeah, man, appreciate you hopping on with me.
All right, big dog. I appreciate it. Anytime. My gratitude extends a lot farther than you know. Okay, bro.
Yes, sir.
You're doing good work, man. I really appreciate it. Everything you do. So anytime you need me, I'm a call away. All right, brother.
My man. Fresh Start Paint Pros, Charleston, take over to the moon. Talk to you soon, bro.
Take care, bro.